Hi everyone, I've got some great news. It's not very often I get to do this on the channel, so this is great, because Philip Hammond, the UK's Chancellor, the guy who lives next door to the Prime Minister, who is technically still Theresa May even though she's resigned, until, get this, 140,000 members of the Conservative Party, 140,000 members of the Conservative Party, who I would say are almost certainly over 55 on average, and almost certainly on the very top end of the income scale in the United Kingdom, and almost certainly I would say male, probably overweight too I would say, they are going to elect our new Prime Minister. 140,000 of those people are going to elect our new Prime Minister. Take that, Venezuela, take that, Maduro. How's that for democracy? Shove that. Anyway, Philip Hammond, as I say, he solved poverty. He's done it in a brilliant way. You may remember a while ago, a couple of months ago, there was a UN rapporteur, which is like a special name for it's a name for an expert in his field, and it was a rapporteur on poverty. His name was Philip Alston, and he found that Tory welfare policies since 2010, he likened them to the creation of workhouses. It was bad. It was really bad. This was in the New Statesman at the time. He found that the government has violated its human rights obligations. I'll just go over a few of the cliff notes from this. You'll probably remember it. I did a video on it, although the mainstream media tended to ignore this. They tended to do one report and then leave it alone. They'll talk about anti-Semitism until the cows come home now. Anyway, but it said that close to 40% of children are predicted to be living in poverty by 2021. This is bad in a country that's meant to be the 5th richest in the world. It's a broken system. He went on to say that although the United Kingdom is the world's 5th largest economy, 1/5 of its population, 14 million people, live in poverty. 4 million of those are more than 50% below the poverty line, and 1.5 million of them experienced destitution in 2017. I've been there, I know what it's like, so I know it really is a thing in the United Kingdom. I live on a council estate. Go to any council estate north of the Watford Gap, let's face it, and you'll find it. It's not hard to find. You've just got to open your eyes. Which is why, you know, the MP's denial at the time was just so bad. They just tended to deny things. Philip Alston had to come out and say, this is a denial of facts here. You really have to look at this. It's a big problem. Now remember, the reason we've got this in the country, and one of the things that Philip Alston attributed this to, was the cuts that the Tories have given us with regards to social programmes and programmes, you know, for fire, police, etc., etc., but primarily social programmes, and their attack and their cuts on the Department of Work and Pensions. And remember why they're doing this. They're doing this because they've had to pay for the bankers' bailout in 2008, who didn't face any consequences at all for the crimes that they committed, didn't face any consequences at all for the economy, crashing the world economy. They've gone on since to make out like absolute bandits, face no repercussions whatsoever, and the poor people, the poorest in the country, have had to pay for them. Is it any wonder the Tories said, I can't believe this? Because, let's face it, they are in their bubble. Well, Philip Hammond, like I say, he solved this crisis. It's brilliant, it's genius. Take a look.
Well, first of all, I reject the idea that there are, you know, vast numbers of people facing dire poverty in this country.
14 million, according to the UN Rapporteur.
I don't accept the UN Rapporteur's report at all. I think that's a nonsense. Look around you. That is not what we see in this country.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Just deny its existence. Just totally deny it. I reject it. I reject the idea of poverty in this country. How about that? I reject the idea of climate change, although, you know, many people do, I suppose. But I reject the idea of a war in Yemen. I reject that. I reject that war in Yemen. I reject its existence. I reject the fact that we're giving Saudi Arabia billions of dollars of weapons to drop on the people in Yemen. You can see you could go on with this. It's absolutely fantastic. It's genius. But that's the way they are going to react to this problem. That's exactly the way they're going to react to it. They're just going to ignore it, and the press are going to let them, because they are the mockingbird media. Philip Hammond reminds me, by the way, of this guy. You might remember him, Sir Geoffrey Norman from The Fast Show.
Now, if you think I'm going to answer any questions on government policy, you're quite wrong.
You're an outspoken critic on the topic of border controls in the new Europe.
No, I'm not.
Well, you put your name to a recent paper.
No, I didn't.
Well, it's here in black and white.
No, it's not. My name is not on that paper, and you know it.
Yes, it is, look.
No.
That'll be £7.40, mate.
No, it won't.
Essentially, that's what he is. That's what Philip Hammond is. What about poverty? No. Climate change? No. What about those tax cuts you gave the rich? No, we did not give tax cuts to the rich. We didn't. Essentially, that's what our politicians have become. And our media let them. They just let them get away with this crap. I mean, look at this. Look at when that report came out, remember, in January. Ministers were in denial over social calamity of UK poverty, UN figure says. This is what he said. He said that the ministers were in denial. Is it any wonder they're in denial that when that damning report came out, only 14 MPs bothered to attend the debate on it? This report that found 1 in 5 families in this country are in poverty. Only 14 of them turned up. And it looks to me very much like there's only 2 Conservatives there on that side of the House. I don't remember the media making a big deal about this. Do you? It shows that they really don't care. And it shows that we do really need to take back our government. I just wanted to do a little video on that. This is the new setup, by the way. I've got to get lighting, etc. down here, as well as the studio back home, so the quality might be a little bit lower than it normally is, but I want to get some lighting and eventually, you know, get a tech guy to do all this for me, which is fantastic because I'm bloody useless at it. Thanks very much for all your support. You can click through to the website to find out ways you can donate to the channel and help. I can't do this without your help, and every little bit helps. Thanks very much for it, and until next time, peace and take care.